Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards could look at trading the superstar to another team if the team decides to go in that route and take the rebuilding mode. Obviously, they could get a lot in return for Bradley Beal, especially a high draft pick. So we're looking at teams like, we know the Spurs aren't going to trade their draft pick, but we're looking at maybe the Hornets or the Trailblazers to partner up with Damian Lillard. We know the Trailblazers are shopping this number 3 pick to create a win-now team because that's what Damian Lillard wants, or else he will be wanting a trade from the team. So could they land Bradley Beal? Obviously, they'd have to give up maybe a bit more than that. But a team I would have thought that would be high on the radar of Bradley Beal is the Boston Celtics, because we know the history with Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum, best friends for a really long time. It's not a very well-kept secret that they are extremely close and would obviously like to play together, but the Boston Celtics are not interested. Their number one priority is to re-sign Jaylen Brown. And actually, in Bradley Beal's new contract that he signed pretty recently, it was like a year or two ago, it was a 5-year deal, $250 million or something along those lines. He has a no trade clause in it, so he just can't be shipped to a random team without knowing about it. He pretty much gets to look at the whole trade offer. He sees what the Wizards get in return for him, so what the team that he's getting traded to still has on the team when he's there. He pretty much just gets to pick where he goes and all of that. But speaking of the Portland Trailblazers and associated with that in trade, the New Orleans Pelicans could look to shop Zion Williamson for the number 3 pick or the number 2 pick. They really like Scoot Henderson, so they could be trading Zion to the Hornets or the Trailblazers. Obviously, imagine Zion partnering with LaMelo or Damian Lillard. Obviously, the Pelicans would get a lot more in return, not only just that number 3 pick. And obviously Zion hasn't been as available as the Pelicans would have liked, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens there. And another team that's looking to trade a player for a high draft pick is the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, Jonathan Kuminga is not happy there with the role he was playing, so he's looking for another team, and the Warriors want back a high draft pick for that. I don't think it'll be a top 5 pick, even though Jonathan Kuminga has a lot of potential. Even a top 10 might be asking for too much, but it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds as well. In Chris Paul news, the Spurs really want him to partner next to Victor Wembanyama, obviously to mentor him, and they think that they would fit really well together, and I agree they would. And Kendrick Perkins actually had this list of big predictions that will happen this offseason, and he predicts that James Harden will sign with the Lakers in free agency. And speaking of James Harden, if the Rockets were not able to land James Harden in this free agency, they would heavily target Austin Reeves to lure him out of LA. And the Lakers would love to keep Austin Reeves, but there are a lot of teams out there that would like him on their team and are targeting him this offseason. And also in other news, the Miami Heat are looking to land a big fish this offseason, whether that's a Bradley Beal or a Damian Lillard. But actually at the previous trade deadline, they made a trade offer to the Brooklyn Nets for Kyrie Irving. Imagine that, if they had have landed Kyrie rather than him going to Dallas. But if the Wizards were to choose the rebuilding mode, the Miami Heat would definitely be on the radar for Bradley Beal. And then also for the same thing with the Portland Trailblazers, if they were to not trade that number 3 pick and Damian Lillard was unhappy because it's not a championship contending team, he could be on the move, and so many people want to see him on the Miami Heat. Already there with Jimmy and Bam, they would probably have to give up Tyler Hero if they were to land a Damian Lillard or a Bradley Beal, but that would be awesome to see. So much happening in the NBA already. It's only been like 48 hours, not even, since the finals finished, but the offseason has begun and we love it. Is Zion on the move? Is Dame on the move? Is Bradley Beal on the move? Let me know all your thoughts down below.